Back with the R34 working on this turbo manifold. So the next port of call for this manifold is to make a 3-into-1 merge. This is going to be for the rear 3 cylinders. So the way that I want to go about this, all 3 of these guys here are going to have to merge into this 50mm diameter hole here. So I've got this pretty random drawing down here on a piece of paper. But obviously the outside diameter there's the 50mm, and then there's 3 circles in here. And these are the center lines for each of them. So he lines up in there, and then the center line is going off that way, and then that center line's going off that way as well. So the idea is that those 2 would overlap right next to one another, but obviously facing outwards like this. So you'd have one there and one there like that, but obviously those 2 would be merged together. And then I want to have a third one sort of coming up from the middle. That's that center one there, so he goes right to the top of that one, and that's his center line there. So those 2 will be next to each other parallel, and then this one here will sort of be scalloped back on an angle so that it can come up and over the top of both of them. So yeah, I guess that's the aim of the game here. So yeah, if you look at from the edge of this one here to the edge of the next circle, it's 10.5mm, and then 10.5mm there. So basically I'm going to have to take 10.5mm out of the side of each of them. So 10.5mm off this one, 10.5mm off that one, and they should butt up next to one another. And then the outsides of these 2 should meet on the outside diameter of that 50mm circle. So yeah, anyway, that's the plan anyway. Sort of works in my head and sort of works on paper. So yeah, that's probably where I'm going to start, is try and get these 2 butted up next to each other, and then I'll basically have to try and mark this out and get a rough idea of where the third one coming over the top needs to go. So to begin with this first one, I've lined it up here, marked the center line, and then I've come around and marked the intersection point at the base of the circle between the 2 pipes. And then I've also marked the intersection point right up the top. So that should basically give us the 10mm that we need to take out. That's as awkward a shape as any. If I had a bandsaw, you could just literally mark the bottom of the circle and just send the bandsaw straight through it. But anyway, that sort of looks like it goes straight up and over. Sort of, can you, oh yeah, lines up down there. See how the old eyeballs go, eh? Actually turned out pretty well. I missed the mark on this one slightly. You see the texture goes up a little bit higher than the actual cut mark. But this one here was absolutely bang on. I mean, they both need to be tidied up on the sanding disc, but yeah, I'll knock that top edge back a little bit. There we go. So yeah, you can see what I was going for there. They both just merged together quite nicely, and both within the perimeter of that circle. So yeah, the reason why they aren't butted up at the bottom properly is because that top edge needs to come in. So once that lines up, that'll be nice, and it's within the perimeter of the 50mm circle. You can't see because my hand's in the way, but yeah, that turned out pretty well. So there's 2 parts of the merge cleaned up and joined together. Yeah, got a nice, it's 50mm across the base there. What I'm going to end up with is a third tube coming up over the top, sort of like that. I'll end up adding a straight section to the back of this 90, and then that's going to sort of, I think it's going to sit somewhere, something like that. So this is where I've gotten to now. I haven't recorded in a little bit just because it was so finicky. I just sort of wanted to get it done. So I'm pretty happy with how this merge here has turned out. Yeah, welded up really nicely. I was pretty happy with that. So yeah, and then I've obviously cut the back side of this out. And then I've got the third runner here for that. So it was just the 90 welded onto a bit of straight, and then had to sort of scallop that shape out of it. Yeah, you can see it's laid nice and flat, and the bit that I've actually cut through there, there's no porosity or anything in it. It's all quite nice. So yeah, pretty damn happy with that. So yeah, this is the it's the first time I've actually made a manifold. I'm quite proud of this. It's turning out to be quite a fun process. I really enjoy sort of messing with the shapes and yeah, just actually building this thing. It's fun. And yeah, this merge here, I'm actually like, I don't know, it's so simple, but it's, I don't know, I'm wrapped with it. It's pretty nice. Sort of, especially when your ideas actually work, come to fruition. So yeah, you can see it merges quite nicely in there. Very minimal gaps to weld up. So the fit up's quite decent. A little bit of a gap, but that shouldn't be too much drama. Oh bloody hell, this is really difficult to do with one hand. I keep dropping this thing trying to hold it with one hand, but trying to get some light in there. You sort of see the merge down in there is quite nice. So all I'm going to do now is just go through and just tidy up the back of that with the welder. I'm just going to basically go through and fusion weld the back side of that. So there it is, all welded together. Yeah, it turned out alright, I think. So, yeah, pretty chuffed with that. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, I'll probably mark and tack this up, and maybe even start this front portion, so then all the collectors are done. Then it's just a matter of joining the actual collectors to the head flange itself. Yeah, that seems like a nice way to go about it, I think. So I just got the merge for the rear 3 cylinders tacked up to the collector. So yeah, it's pointing in the right direction. It's where I want it to go now. So yeah, I'm just going to get to welding this out. So I've got the merge for the rear 3 cylinders and the collector bolted up to the turbo. So I'm about to get the merge for the front 3 cylinders sorted. So I'm going to start with cylinder 1 as a reference. I've got this 90 here. So, you know, it's going to come off the head, 12mm for the flange, and then out far enough to line up with the collector there. So I've already measured this off camera. It's 170mm between the end of this bend and the start of the collector there. So I'm going to cut a straight section at 170mm. And then yeah, I'll get to mocking up that collector. So a bit of a change of heart, the order that I'm going to do these things. Instead of getting the collector going out to cylinders 1 to 3, I'm actually going to tack cylinder 4 on. That'll basically jig it up as such. So I'm in the process of getting the flange ready to bolt to the head and tack cylinder 4 up. So the shiny surface underneath is the actual steel that we want to weld to, and all of this dark grey stuff on top is mil scale, and it actually takes quite a bit to get down through that. I'm using a flat disc at the moment. I made the mistake on the T3 flange of not cleaning the mil scale off properly. I thought I'd done enough cleaning, but I hadn't. And, yeah, so that's kind of hit a snag with that. I'm probably going to have to cut that flange off and get another one welded back on. But yeah, as for this, like you can see how much grinding it actually takes to get through that. Anyway, I'm going to get to cleaning this up, and yeah, I'll start tacking this runner in. Alright, so we've got our first bit tacked up on the head flange there. I've measured up the angle and the size of the piece that needs to go between that gap. Tie keeps you on your center line radius, so yeah, I'll cut that out, see if it fits in there. Thanks to the zip tie being able to cut on the center line, got a nice sliver here, nice flat cut on that angle, wobbling all over the place. So yeah, I'll just go mop this up in the bag and see if it fits where we I'm happy with that. The weight of the turbo sort of just wants to pull it down about 1 millimetre, so if I let go of it, it'll move out. But yeah, pretty chuffed with that first time. So yeah, I'll take that in, and hopefully the runner will be able to support the weight of the collector. New day. This is where I got to last night, so we've got cylinder 3 completely tacked up now, and it's holding itself in there. So you can see, due to the orientation of everything, and just trying to leave enough room for a dump pipe and everything to go down there, that cylinder 5 and 6 are going to have to sweep as close towards the cylinder 4 as possible. So that's going to have to sort of sweep up that way, and then that's going to have to also hug as close as it can to cylinder 5 runner. Yeah, that gives us a bit of an idea of where we need to lay things out, so I'll probably be able to take it out of the car now, chuck it on the bench, and yeah, start mocking up the rest of these runners. Starting to get a look at how this is coming together now. I'm pretty happy with that. It's sort of coming together quite well, I think. These runners look decent. You sort of see it snakes its way around. Quite close there, but they don't touch. And then cylinder 6 is going to sort of do the same. It's going to come up along here. It's basically going to follow this runner up into that hole there. So yeah, it's coming along. Pretty happy with this. Yeah, I'll make a start at number 6 and see where we end up. So I'll try and show what I'm looking at for cylinder 6 here. Could have taken an easy route out, and I've got this offcut here from another bend that I had to do before. And if I was to put that down here and then run straight, obviously I have to cut this down a bit. Oh, there we go. So one-handed trickery. Yeah, so you can see coming out of that, it's a little bit off. I'd have to trim a straight section down, obviously, but it comes out of there and then lines up pretty well bang on with that. So that would be the easy way, but got all these nice curves we've got going around here, and then that straight leg just looks shit, to be honest. So yeah, that would be the easy way, but I'm not going to go with that. So yeah, something like that. It's going to come out of there, down there, around, and then line up with that coming out of number 6 there. So you can obviously see there's a height difference between the two, and then I've got this black line marked on that bend there. So that's, I've estimated that's about where I'm going to have to cut it, hopefully. So with a bit of luck, if I cut that there, these two of them will line up pretty square, and I'll be able to just chuck a little straight section in there. This should be the last piece of the puzzle for these back 3 runners. Pretty damn snug fit. There we go. So that's ready to tack in. So it's starting to actually look like a manifold now. Quite like the way that they all sort of sweep in, like the angles of the runners coming out, and then they all kind of rotate around. Yeah, pretty happy with that. So yeah, I'll get to tacking that in, and that'll be the rear 3 cylinders pretty well sorted and ready to be welded out. So there it is, all tacked up. I'm really happy with that. It's really starting to come together nicely. Try and get a look at it from the front, and yeah, that's a cool thing. I'm bloody wrapped with that. Might just sit it in the engine bay and just bolt it up to the head just to get a good look at it. So yeah, there she is, all bolted up in the car. Really happy with the way that those runners are coming out off the head. Like, it just looks nice, and it's just nice and appealing to look at from the top as well. The way they sort of sweep together and angle towards the front of the car. So yeah, it looks real nice. Now, yeah, next port of call is just to get the the merge for the front three sorted and get that happening. So I'm going to leave this one here. This video will be plenty long enough as it is. So yeah, in the next video I'll get those front three cylinders sorted out and then yeah, fully weld this thing out, so won't drag it out for too much longer. Yeah, if you made it all the way to the end, thanks heaps for watching, and yeah, like I said, really wrapped with this, really like the way it's going, so I'll catch you on the next one.